The word secularism is often encountered in the media with regard to the religiosity of the Western world. However, the definition of secularism cannot be assumed, as it can be interpreted in different ways. Moreover, how one understands secularism has an impact on the way in which one thinks religion and the state ought to relate to one another. We will explore different understandings of secularism before exploring the question, is Australia secular? The term secularism is often deployed, particularly in the media, to indicate a lack of religion, but that would not hold true for many definitions of secularism proposed by philosophers and theologians. Secularism and atheism are not synonyms. However, one understanding of secularism is that it indicates an individual's belief system, and that belief system is opposed to religion. In other words, on this understanding, a secularist person is not religious. A slightly different understanding of the secularist individual is of a person who is opposed to religion having a determining factor in society, in particular where it privileges religious adherence. Theoretically, this person may be religious, but does not want religion to interfere in issues of society, such as law, politics, and education. These definitions relating to the individual can be contrasted with definitions that link to society rather than the individual. In this definition, a secular society is one that is not guided by religious principles. We will focus on the societal understanding of secularism rather than the individual. Philosopher Charles Taylor argues in his 2007 book, A Secular Age, that there are three forms of secularism. Taylor outlines three possible forms of secularism in society. Firstly, the division of religion from all areas of public life, for example from schools. This separation of state and religion can be seen in France, where the separation is strict. That does not mean that people in France are not religious, however, but that religion exists in the private sphere rather than the public sphere. The second form of secularism Taylor outlines is the general reduction of religious beliefs and practices across the population of a society. One example of this is in Sweden, where the Church of Sweden reports that 63% of the Swedish population are followers, but only 2% attend church. The United Kingdom is another example, where the Church of England is still the established church, and a significant proportion of the population identifies with the church, but less than 1 million people attend church regularly. In many countries, such as Australia, the number of people reporting no religion has increased in each census. Taylor's third understanding of secularism is that religion is one option among many in society. It still has a place in public life, but is not the only option. The state does not support any one religious view to the exclusion of others. This form is also known as religious pluralism. To recap Taylor's three definitions of secularism: 1. Complete separation between church and state. 2. General reduction of religiosity in society. 3. Religious pluralism. Religion is one option among many. So is Australia secular? It depends entirely upon how you define secularism. Is Australia secular on any of Charles Taylor's accounts? We already noted that there is a reduction of people reporting adherence to a religion in each census. Therefore, on Taylor's second understanding, Australia seems to fit the criteria. On the other hand, Australia does not divide state and religion, for example, allowing Catholic schools, so would not meet the criteria for the first understanding. The third understanding is slightly more complex to analyze, but states that religion is one option among many. This rings true in Australian society, where the governing powers do not promote one religion over others. The Australian Constitution states that the Commonwealth shall not make any law for establishing any religion, or for imposing any religious observance, or for prohibiting the free exercise of any religion, and no religious test shall be required as a qualification for any office or public trust under the Commonwealth. Following a religion, any religion, is an option for the individual in Australia, alongside other non-religious belief systems. In this way, Australia is an example of a religious pluralist society. Different religions are allowed input into the institutions of public life, such as schools and hospitals, but there are always options that are non-religious,